Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arun. I'm Solutions Architect, MCT, working with Novintech, which is one of the best organization to work with. This is my channel, and today we are going to describe Microsoft Purview. So let's get started. Microsoft Purview. So let's try to understand what is Microsoft Purview first of all. Okay. So in today's digital landscape, we know data is everywhere, and data security is paramount for organizations to protect sensitive information and maintain trust with their customers and align with the compliance. In order to do that, they should know where their data is. They should have something which will have the control over their data or aware about their data. So in the field of data, this is a wonderful solution, and that's how we define it. It's an comprehensive suite of solution that helps organization govern, protect, and manage data. So what is Microsoft Purview? Microsoft Purview is a suite of solution that help organization to govern, protect, and manage data, right? Now, it doesn't matter wherever the data is. It could reside on premises, multi-cloud, or SaaS environment. Wherever your data is, once you enable the purview and it has the access to the data, it will help you govern, protect, and manage your data. So that's what the Microsoft Purview is. Now let's see how it is helping organizations or what challenges it is helping organization to solve. So here are the common challenges. The very first is data fragmentation across multiple platforms. So what does that mean? This means data segregation, data separation. It's like an organization's data is scattered across different places like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, or maybe on the SaaS applications like Salesforce or SAP. So when data lives in too many disconnected systems, it becomes hard to manage, protect, govern, and analyze consistently, right? And what Microsoft Purview does, it govern, protect, and manage data for you. So this challenge will be fixed if we enable the Microsoft Purview, right? Now, the second challenge is lack of visibility that hampers protection and governance. So it is like the organization doesn't fully know where sensitive data is stored, who is accessing it, how it's being accessed. And if you don't know something, how can you protect it? So without visibility, sensitive data might be exposed, misused, or non-compliant with regulations, because regulations say you have to manage it in a certain way, but you don't even have the visibility about the data. Then how could you manage it in a certain way? So who can help you? Microsoft Purview help you. How it can help you? Because it will help you to govern, protect, and manage your data. So all both the challenges are kind of related to each other. If data is scattered everywhere, you lose the visibility, right? Now the third one is IT roles. So in modern organization, the lines between security teams, compliance officers, and data managers are not always clear. All right. So without clear ownership, important tasks like protecting sensitive data or responding to compliance audits maybe it, it will fall through the cracks or be duplicated, right? So in order to just understand this blurring IT roles, let's take an example. It's like a financial firm isn't sure if the IT security team or the compliance team should handle GDPR data deletion request. This confusion slows down response and increases regularity risk maybe, right? So this is another challenge as per the roles and responsibilities as per the team. But Purview can help you there as well, because it help you manage your data as well. So if somebody asks you now, I'm assuming like you guys are not aware what is Microsoft Purview as of now, because this is SC 900 fundamental playlist. So it's like maybe you are new with this topic. That's the reason we're just describing it. So if somebody asks you what is Microsoft Purview, you have the very simple understanding now. It is a comprehensive suite of solutions that help your organization to govern, protect, and manage your data. Why? Because organizations face certain challenges, like their data is scattered. So it will help the consolidate the data, give you the visibility, and assign the proper roles. Help you assign the proper roles so that you can fulfill the compliance and the requested task. All right, good. So let's go ahead, and if we need to just summarize what is data fragmentation, it's like data is scattered or spread everywhere, lack of visibility, you can't protect what you can't see, and the blurring roles is no clear responsibility of data or gaps in protection and compliance, right? So these kind of challenges Purview will help organizations to solve. I think it is clear now. So let's go to the next slide, which is Microsoft Purview capabilities. And Microsoft Purview capabilities, I'm just picking three. This will cover the entire suite because each of these has core capabilities further. So it is the same thing. The capabilities, data governance. If you remember the previous definition, it helps us in the governing the data, data security. It was helping us in protection and risk and compliance because you got to manage the data in a certain way. So as per the previous definition, govern, protect, and manage, their capabilities comes up. Data governance, data security, risk, and compliance. Now, if we dive a little deeper into the data governance, we can understand what exactly the purview offers because it is pretty big, pretty deep. Because data is not a small topic, right? So let's start with data governance first. We'll then dig the data security and then finally risk and compliance. This will give you a pretty good understanding of Microsoft Purview. All right, so data governance. I have created a simple table which will help you understand Microsoft Purview data governance. So, what it is? Data governance is about giving organizations visibility and control over their entire data state. Okay, that's what the this data governance is. Okay, these are the core capabilities. We'll talk about these things. First, we are understanding what is data governance. It's about giving organization the visibility and control over their data estate. Governance. You want to govern it. So it will help you answer questions like what data do we have? All those W questions. Like what data do we have? Right? Where is it? Where is it stored? Right? Then how is it moving across the system? How is it moving across the system, and who is accessing it? All these W questions: what, where, who, how, all these things governance will help you. Data governance will help you. But how exactly it will help us? Because this has these capabilities. Who has these capabilities? Microsoft Purview has these capabilities. Under who? Under what? Under data governance. And what is data governance? Data governance is about giving organizations the visibility and the control over their entire data state. How it will give the visibility and control? By answering this question. What data do we have? Where is it stored? How is it moving? Who is using it or accessing it for what purpose? Right now, let's see how it works. So in core capability, the first point we have is the data map. So what is data map? As the name says, it is exactly the same thing because it automatically discovers and registers data sources across Azure, AWS, like multiple system as we defined in the very first slide. Because it is not only for Azure, it is for all the systems that you connect with Purview, and it can automatically discover and register the data sources. So data map automatically discovers and register data from multiple sources. So why why this is important, if we need to answer this question, it will help you understand the first challenge, because data is often spread across cloud, on-prem, and SaaS system, and without a central map, it is not easy, right? Without a central map, it is not easy to have a track of your data and to know where is your data. So it will map it out. Purview automatically discovers and register all sources, uh, giving you a single inventory of entire enterprise data for better control and compliance. So it is giving you the answer of these questions: where is your data, what data you have, all those things, right? It will discover your data and will give you the single inventory. It will give you a single inventory. What it is doing, it is discovering your data automatically from all the resources, all the registered data sources, and then giving you a single inventory of all enterprise data. So what will happen? It will eliminate the silos, right? It will eliminate the silos, which means all the data which was scattered, the first data fragmentation challenge will be solved. It's not silos anymore. You have the visibility in a single inventory. Right. And now here is the simple example. Let's suppose there is a retail company connects Azure SQL, SAP, ERP, and AWS3 into one unified map of customer purchase data. Purview can simply help it here. You enable Purview, register the data sources, you would have the single inventory, right? So, and who does that? Data map does that. What is data map? It is a capability of data governance. From where it comes from? From the Purview. Because Purview is what? It's a comprehensive suite. It's not a single service, it's a suite. So one of the capabilities, data governance. So data map will map the data. All right. It will find out or discover all the data sources and give you the single inventory. All right, good. So we understood the data map. Now it's time to understand data catalog. So what is data catalog? It creates a searchable catalog with business friendly metadata and tagging. So what it provides? It provides a searchable business friendly catalog so employees can find and understand the data they need, like an analyst type sales data in the catalog, and quickly finds the right data set without asking the team or opening a request. So it will help employees. How? Because employees waste time searching or requesting access to the right data set. Make it easy for analysts and employees to find and understand the right data. So what it is doing, it, it creates a searchable catalog with business friendly metadata and tagging. Right. So a searchable catalog lets analysts quickly find and understand trusted data, improving productivity and decision making, boost productivity, because data scientists, analysts, business users can find the right data without wasting hours of searching. So what it is doing, it is actually making a catalog so that you can easily search it. How? With the business friendly metadata. So metadata is there, tagging is there. So you're not wasting your time, you are increasing your productivity, and you are find and understand the right data. Now with this simple example, you can understand it further. A business analyst searches for sales data in Purview catalog and quickly finds the right data set without asking IT, as I said, right? So it will help you. So data map, find out all the data and it catalog the data. What data? The data that data map has already figured out that we have. Now, once we have the entire data, we have the catalog. Now it's time to classify it. Data classification. So what data classification does? Well, it uses built-in and custom classifiers. Built-in and custom classifiers. Classifier means it will help to classify the data, like pie data, credit card, health data, and it is automatically tag that data. So data classification uses built-in and custom classifier to tag data. Purview automatically tags a column with credit card numbers in SQL as financial sensitive data, like it is automatic. So organization must know which data is sensitive, right? And without classification, compliance risk increases for sure, because you don't know whether data is, what kind of data it is, until it's not classified. So built-in and custom classifiers automatically tag data. So sensitive information is easier to protect with labels, encryption, and policies. Before you apply an encryption, apply any policies, apply anything, you should know what kind of data it is, right? Because as sensitive data is, there is a way to protect it. Not all data is sensitive, not all data is important, not all data will be secured. You want to minimize the data also, that comes later. Anyways, I think we read it in the previous video, Microsoft Priva, where data minimization is also something very important. So you don't want all the data for all the time. You don't want it, right? Because you have to manage it, and you don't want too much unnecessary things to manage. All right. So why it matters? Because it helps identify and protect sensitive data across environment. How it helps? Because it will classify the data and you will know this is a sensitive data. Once you know this is a sensitive data, it will, you have to protect it as it's supposed to be protected as per the compliance and all. So Purview classifies the columns with credit card numbers in SQL DB as financial sensitive. So this is tagged by Purview automatically, right? So that's how it helps. And how it can tag automatically, because there is a built-in, and you can also custom create the custom classifiers, like as per the numbers of the credit card, it will tag it as a credit card, that kind of things, right? Already then, it's time to understand the data lineage. So here we got all the data. Here we have just created the catalog of the data, and here we have classified the data. Okay. Now we need to know all the data that we have or this guy gathered. Is it something that we can trust? So we need to know from where the data is coming in. So data lineage. It tracks how data flows. It tracks how data flows between systems and transformations. For example, a Power BI report shows sales numbers. Lineage reveals it comes from SAP, SQL, and data lake to Power BI. Now, you are relying on data, but you should know from where the data is coming. Is it a right data, wrong data, the kind of data you have? So you need to know from where it is coming, and that thing is called data lineage. Because business leaders often question if reports are reliable or how data was transformed, and lineage traces data flows from source to ETL to report, or from where, like, everything about the data, and it will build the trust. So it builds the trust in reports and analytics by showing data origins and transformations. Right. So now we know what is data lineage as well. It improves the trust in data. When user know where data came from and how it was transformed, they can trust reports and dashboard. Now users are mostly the business users who are working, who have those powerful dashboards so that they can take the business decisions. So this is very important. Now, business glossary. It defines and standardizes the business terms across systems. What it does, it standardizes the definition so everyone across the company speaks the same data language. For example, customer ID is defined once and used consistently by finance team, marketing team, and operations team. So same language. So different departments may use different definitions for the same data, and it will cause confusion. So we need to ensure consistent meaning of data across department. We need to make sure it is consistent so that it data is could be used. Otherwise, you keep on filtering the data. So a common glossary or standards or standardized terms like customer ID here ensures consistency across teams and reduce errors. And it will boost productivity because all those people need not to go through and rework again and again, because all the data has the same kind of terminology. So business glossary, that, and this thing is also there in our purview. And access policies. This is the last one. As the name says, it will ensure that sensitive data is only accessed by the authorized people. Means it applies policies to control who can access specific data set. Because unrestricted access to sensitive data increase the risk of leaks or misuse. And we need to protect it. So it protects sensitive information and ensure compliance with data access rules. So policies, access policies. Now, this example, finance team gets read-only access to aggregated revenue data, but cannot access raw customer pie data. It is, again, you can say least privilege principle. You should have the access what you're supposed to be, not more than that, so that you cannot mess up around the data. So Purview applies fine-grained access control, so only the right people see sensitive data, supporting security and compliance. Already, so I think we are pretty good with the data governance. Data governance is, what is data governance? Now we have to explain what is data governance. Well, data governance is about VC. If you remember, it's the visibility and control over the entire data state. VC, visibility and control over the entire data state. And if you know the data state, then you can easily answer what the data is, where it is stored, from where it is coming from, how is it moving, who is accessing it, all those things. Once you have that information, only then you can govern it. So in order to do that, we need to gather all the data from all the data sources. Data map will do that mapping. Then we need to make it searchable or make it catalog so that people can easily search. Once the data is all streamlined, then we need to classify it, right? And classify can easily be done with the help of Purview because there is a built-in and custom classifiers, and you can easily use it and apply the tags or labels. And because people should rely on data, you should know the lineage. That information is also comes. Same goes with the business glossary, so that all the departments should be using the similar terms. An access policy will help you control the access. So all these things will make you govern the data very well. Now it's time to see the data security. This is the second capability. If you just lost in the governance. So in the first slide, we learned what is Microsoft Purview. In the second slide, we saw the three capabilities: data governance, security, risk, and compliance. In the previous slide, we talked about data governance, which has further core capabilities: map, data catalog, data classifier, right? Lineage, and glossary and access policies. Now it is data security. So what is data security? Data security ensures that sensitive information is protected across entire life cycle. Entire life cycle of what? Data. From creation, storage, and sharing to archival or deletion. So data security is, as the name says, we are securing the data. Because in previous video, we have all, so not the previous video, previous slide, we got the information of data. All right. Now we need to secure it. All right. So the core capability, let's go. How can we secure it? Because Purview got this data security got some capabilities here, which will help us to secure the data. The very first is information protection. So what is information protection? It applies sensitivity labels like confidential, public, encryption and access policies to files, emails, and chats, right? So this is information protection capability, and it will protect the information by applying the labels, letting know the kind of information it is, and encryption access policies, right? Because sensitive information must be secured even if shared outside the company. So how can it help? By applying the sensitive labels, encryption, and access restriction. All these things will help us to protect the information. Why it matters? Because ensure sensitive data is only accessible to the right people. Otherwise, it is risky. People can mess with your data and you don't want it. Ultimately, entire security of any IT environment is securing their data. In the core, it's all about data. So this example will help us understand further. A financial report labeled highly confidential can only be opened by the finance staff, even if accidentally emailed to outside. Now, how financial staff only? Because of information protection, because of this guy. Because this guy applies this label, highly confidential. For whom? Only for financial staff. That's why. Good. So it will protect the information by applying the labels, encryption and access restriction. Now, the second thing to protect the data is DLP. We have heard it so many times. DLP, it's data loss prevention, data leak prevention, anything which is losing the data. So it detects and blocks accidental or intentional sharing of sensitive data. What it does, it detects and blocks. First, it will figure out, and then once this guy know, yes, it is what it is what as it seems it is, and it will block it. What exactly it is blocking? Sharing of the sensitive data. What is sensitive data? Data like credit card, health record, SSN, source code, etc. across M 365 or endpoint and cloud applications. So it will detect and block it. So it the policies will tell you. Don't worry like how it this guy know. The policies will tell you the particular data type is sensitive or not. As the matching happens, it will detect it. And as per the policies, it will block it or send it to review. So it prevents the accidental or intentional data leaks. Accidental, maybe you just said it, you thought it's an internal email. Let's send the data, and the data has credit card numbers. So it is accidental, maybe. Okay, it's you never thought it like that, though you supposed to. So it will block it. How it will block it? That we'll see as per the policies. Maybe it will not allow you to send the email, or maybe it will not allow the other guy to see that thing, the numbers. So here is the example. An employee tries to email 50 customer credit card numbers. Purview DLP blocks it and alerts the user. Exactly the same example that I was trying to do. It was right there. I should have read it. All right. So it will alert the user when this guy sent, for example, you try to send the email where you have mentioned the word attachment, but if you have not attached anything, there will be a prompt you forgot to attach. Similarly, it will alert. It has the credit card number. Don't send it, things like that. So that's how DLP does. There are policies applied, particular sensitive data will be blocked to share, right? And all these things will be defined in the policies. It will prevent accidental or intentional data leaks. Then we have insider risk management. Okay. So here we were protecting the information because of the sensitive labels. It applies the sensitive labels. Here we are applying the policies for the sensitive data so that it should be protected. There would not be any data leak. Now here we are going to manage insider risk. Now, what is insider risk? Insider risk is like more likely, as the name says, it's a user behaviors. It is uses machine learning to spot risky user behaviors. So insider risk means the insider guy, right? So it is your user behavior. So employees with legitimate access may misuse data or download large amounts before leaving the company. But risk management will be watching you. It will alert you, or the right people, like somebody is trying to steal the data. Now here is some example: mass download, data exfiltration, unusual access pattern. How this risk management will know? Because this guy risk management know how the particular user behave. If this user is acting not as per the pattern that this guy learned, this will alert. So it helps detect malicious insiders or unintentional risky actions before damage occurs. You never download data ever. but suddenly you download data. This guy knows something is going on. Okay. Now here is the example. An employee planning to resign downloads, here should be a comma, resign, downloads 2000 files from SharePoint. Purview flags it as a high risk activity. High risk activity. Correct? So insider risk management. And it uses machine learning. That is the key thing. Because if you have enabled it, it is watching you. It will see, for example, you always drink tea, but one day you thought, I'm gonna drink coffee. It will see something is going on with this guy. All right, endpoint DLP. Now we have done the inside risk management. It's time to understand endpoint DLP. What is endpoint DLP? It extends the protection to user devices by monitoring copy, paste, printing, and file transfer to USB or cloud apps. What it does, it extends DLP. Where the DLP? Here the DLP. Now DLP is extending to the endpoint here, endpoint. Okay. So what it does, it will monitor copy, paste, file transfer, USB, everything. All the actions that you do on your endpoint will be monitored and it will take the action. So sensitive data can leak through local devices, right? Because we work like BYOD, right? You work from with the help of your mobile phone, your personal mobile phone. So you do have access, but there are certain policies already there through Intune or company portal. So here Purview has also a play. So it prevents data from leaking through the unmanaged endpoints or shadow IT. How it will know? Because it will extend the not inside risk, but the DLP. Sorry, DLP. Extend the DLP. What are DLP? Data loss prevention. They are policies. If something weird happening, this will intimate something's going on. For example, a nurse tries to copy patient records onto a USB drive. So first of all, if there is a corporate laptop, somebody plugs in the USB drive, there is an alert. Somebody's, if it is not blocked already, then USB drive, if it is not blocked, no alert. But if the start data moving, like patient data moving, it will let you know because patient data is sensitive data. So endpoint DLP blocks the transfer of data. Usually, like the if it's an office organization laptop, these things are blocked, right, in a highly sensitive environment. But if you're using your own device and accessing through SharePoint and all, this guy knows a lot of files moving through USB and it will block it. All right, then it can also integrate with the Microsoft Defender. So security teams need context, right? Knowing not just if a file was attacked, but how sensitive that file is. So it provides a security layer that links data sensitivity with the threat detection and response. What it does, it links sensitive labels, sensitivity labels, and DLP with threat detection response in Defender because this is XDR now. So this guy knows the big picture. So it creates a unified defense where security teams see both data sensitivity, what kind of data is going, and the threat context. Right. For example, if malware exfiltrates files labeled confidential, Defender alerts with higher severity for faster response because the data is confidential. All right. So all these are the core capabilities of data security. How Microsoft Purview help us in securing the data? With the help of information protection, it will protect the information, it will apply the policies so that there is no data loss, it will manage the insider risk by learning the pattern, it will apply the data DLPs on the endpoint as well, not only on data. And once you integrate it with Defender, it has a bigger picture and you will get alert as per your severity. So Microsoft Purview Data Security act like your security guard for your data, ensuring the only right people access it, sensitive data doesn't leak out, and suspicious activity caught in time. Very well. Let's go to the third capability of Microsoft Purview, which is risk and compliance. All right, risk and compliance. So what it does, Microsoft Purview risk and compliance, it helps organization stay compliant, as the name says, stay compliant, which is very important, and manage legal and audit needs because Compliance. So legal and audit needs will be asked by the compliant auditor as well. It will help organization monitor communication to prevent misconduct, harassment, or sensitive data sharing. It will protect privacy with tools to manage data subject request and reduce privacy risk. So privacy risk. All right. So risk is risk. Okay. And compliance are compliance. All right. So we know what is compliance. They are like GDPR, HIPAA, ISO, PCA, all those are the compliance. And risk we already know. So let's try to understand how exactly Purview helps us managing risk and compliance. So what are the core capabilities that risk and compliance has? The very first is the compliance manager. So what is compliance manager? Compliance manager is something which provides a compliance score. It will provide you a score, like a defender score, compliance score. And of course, if there is a score, there must be a improvement actions, recommendation to improve the score based on what? Based on the compliance regulation. Okay, because regulations are complex and organizations need to know if they are compliant. There is penalty, there is entire business context, right? And it is damn important. So it provides a compliance score with recommended improvement actions, making it easier to track readiness. So it helps track regulatory readiness, prioritize the fixes. That's how it helps. For example, a bank checks its GDPR compliance score and sees it must improve encryption policies to close the gaps. So it will help you. So compliance manager will help you manage the compliance. There you go. Right. Then we have audit under risk and compliance. Audit is always there. Whenever there is a compliance, there is a audit. So it captures detailed logs of users and admin activities across Microsoft 365 and Azure. Who is doing what? Okay, detail logs for all user and admin activities, because organization must prove who access what data and when, especially during investigation. So it enables investigations, accountability, and regulatory reporting, who access what. And it keeps detailed logs of all user admin activities across 365 and Azure, as we have said here, Azure. So these logs will help, enables the investigation. And log will have the information about the accountability then. So security, here this example, security team reviews an audit log to see who accessed confidential payroll files last month. So all the actions are getting recorded, right? All the actions are getting recorded. Audit. And you need those report. You need those logs. Why you need those logs? Because of the compliance. In a simple answer, right? Because organization must prove who access what data and when, especially during investigation, right? So you have to maintain those. Now, e-discovery. It could be standard and premium. What is e-discovery? It search, hold, and export content for legal investigation. What it does, it searches, holds, reviews, and export content for legal cases or investigation. E-discovery. So how it helps? It lets you search, hold, review, and export content across email, team, SharePoint, and more. Why? Because of the lawsuit or legal cases. So it reduces cost and effort of legal discovery, e-discovery. Legal discovery ensures timely responses. Because if there is a legal case or investigation, you need to find the data. You need to find the data, right? If you have properly managed it, like the Purview does, govern, manage, and protect, you would have all that information, right? So that's how e-discovery will help you. And this example will help us understand further. Legal team quickly finds all teams chat and emails mentioning Project Falcon during a lawsuit, right? So it will have all that information. So it has those kind of features as well that may help in case of legal cases. Not yet. Communication and compliance. There is another capability, communication and compliance. So what it is, as the name says, it is going to see the communication. So it means monitors the teams, Outlook, and other channels of communication for sensitive data leaks, misconduct, or harassment. This guy will keep looking at you, all your teams, and Outlook and find out any sensitive data leak or misconduct or harassment. So it prevents policy violation and protects employees and brand reputation. How can you does that? By looking at the data or the communication, right? This simple example, Purview flags a team chat where an employee shares and customers SSN. This guy will know how this guy knows SSN because there is a structure to the number. All right. Then privacy management, we have already talked about it in our previous video. It automates data subject request DSR and provides insight into privacy risk. Right. So it ensures compliance with GDPR, CCPA, and builds customer trust. For example, a customer requests to see all their personal data, Purview automatically finds and explore it. We have explained it pretty well in our previous video. If you have gone through that video, you know this particular piece. Now, record management, it ensures business critical records are retained or disposed of correctly. So it classifies, retains, and disposes the data according to the business and legal rules. Record management, right? Because organization must keep important business or legal records for the right amount of time and securely dispose them when no longer needed. Keeping data too long increases risk and storage cost. If you remember, data minimization was there in the preview as well. If I have, I will show you. I don't think I have. I have removed it. Yes, I have removed it. Anyways, so it helps meet record keeping regulation and avoid over retention. For example, HR documents are retained for 7 years and then automatically deleted as per the record management policy. Right. So in simple terms, Microsoft Purview risk and compliance is like a compliance officer and legal assistant built into your IT system. It makes sure organization follows regulation, keeps records for audits, and prevents risky communication or privacy violations. Now we have full picture, full understanding, at least high level, like uh, Microsoft Purview helps in data governance, like know your data, map, catalog, and lineage. Then data security, protect your data, like label it, DLP, and the insider risk. Then risk and compliance, like prove compliance, the audit, the e-discovery, the privacy, and the monitoring. So this is what the Microsoft Purview. I hope it was informative. We learned what is Microsoft Purview first. It is a comprehensive suite for the protection, governance, and management of the data, and it will help you to solve three important challenges that organizations are facing. If you remember, what were those challenges? The very first was the data fragmentation, like data is scattered everywhere. Then if data is scattered everywhere, then there is a lack of visibility and the lack of roles, uh, or you could say blurring the IT roles. So it will help us doing this because all those policies could be defined. It can it can gather all the data as from the data source. It can make a catalog, apply the labels, right? And you can work around with the data when you know what data you have, from where it is coming, how it is managed, who has the access. So Purview is all about managing, protecting, and governing your data. Well, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.